Hello and welcome to another video on laws of indices. So over here, what have we got? We've got 2 to the power 3, or you could say 2 cubed, and all of that is being raised to the power 4. So whatever we've got in these brackets, we're multiplying by itself 4 times. So this is going to be 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 3 times 2 to the power 3. So I've just written this out here in full. But we can break this down even further. So let's think about each one. 2 to the power 3, well that's 2 times 2 times 2. And then we're going to multiply that by another 2 to the power 3. So another 2 times 2 times 2. And then we're going to multiply that by another 2 to the power 3. So 2 times 2 times 2. And you can probably see where this is going. And let's choose brown for our last one. We're going to multiply that by another 2 times 2 times 2. So how many 2's in total are we multiplying together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're multiplying 2 by itself 12 times, or we could say 2 to the power 12. So all of this business here, 2 to the power 3 and then raising that to the power 4, that is the same as 2 to the power 12. Now, how could I get my answer of 2 to the power 12 without doing all of this fancy, long-winded working out? Well, if we look at our powers, 3 and 4, but if I just multiply those powers together, that gives me the 12. And that is our third index law, is that whenever we raise something to a power and then raise that to a further power, we just multiply our indices. So let's just do another couple of examples. Let's say we've got 3 to the power 4 and then we're raising that to the power 5. So that's 3 to the power 4 times 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 3 to the power 4. Or using our index law, we can just multiply our powers together. 4 times 5 is 20. So this is the same as 3 to the power 20. We're multiplying 3 by itself 20 times. And again, with all index laws, we don't need to use numbers. We could use variables. So let's say we had a squared and we're raising that to the power minus 7. How could we simplify this? Well, we keep our base. And then, like I said before, when we're raising something to a power and raising that to a further power, we just multiply our indices. So 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. So our answer is a to the power negative 14. And like I've said previously, we always like to come up with rules for these index laws. So here, all this is saying is that whenever we raise something to a power and then raise that to a further power, we just multiply our indices. Okay, so it's over to you now. Pause the video and see if you can simplify these 6 expressions, writing them as single powers. Okay, so number 1, 2 to the power 2, and then we're raising that to the power 4. We multiply our indices. So 2 times 4 is 8. That's going to be 2 to the power 8. Question 2, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to multiply our indices. So our base is going to be 5, and then 4 times 5 is 20. So it is 5 to the power 20. The next one, we always keep the same base. So our base doesn't change. And then we multiply our indices. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So it's 6 to the power negative 6. Question 4, our base is 4, and then negative 3 times negative 1. Well, 2 negatives multiplied together give us a positive. 3 times 1 is 3, so it's just 4 cubed. Okay, question 5. So 3 times 0.2 is 0.6. So it's going to be 5 to the power 0.6. And finally, our last one, a to the power 5, and then we're raising that to the power h. Well, again, it doesn't matter that we've got a letter here. We just multiply our indices. So our base is going to be a, and then 5 multiplied by h, well, that's just 5h. That's a to the power 5h. Now, at this stage, I just want to pause and do a quick recap of the 3 laws of indices that we've looked at over the last 3 videos. So what was the first index law that we spoke about? Well, that stated that when we multiply things with the same base, so let's multiply 2 things here that have the same base, what do we do with our indices? Well, we add them together. So this is going to be a to the power m plus n. Now the second index law, that stated that when we divide things with the same base, so again I'm going to put two things with the same base, but this time I'm going to divide them. So a to the power m divided by a to the power n. We've got the same base. What do we do with our indices? Well, we subtract them. So this is going to be a to the power m minus n. And finally, our third index law, which is what we've just learnt about, is that when we raise something to a power, so a to the power m, and then what we do is we raise that to a further power, what happens to our indices? Well, this time we multiply our indices. So it is a to the power m times n. So these are our three basic laws of indices, which we use quite frequently in maths. And in the next video, we're just going to get a bit more practice with combining all three of them together. And I'm going to give you a code breaker to have a go at. Hopefully I'll see you then.